course, the unknown is always scary when you can't see or understand.
History lives inside the Colorado Springs City Auditorium. Since opening its doors in April of 1923, it has played host to scores of events, and for many years, it was the center of the Colorado Springs social scene. But if you believe one group, something else lives inside this historic building.
We are a scientific team that likes to document the paranormal.
Meet Maysandra Gray. She leads a group called Pure Paranormal. Their Ghoul School helps people learn the art and science of ghost hunting.
We don't use Ouija boards, we don't use pendulums, we don't do seances. Everything is scientific and nothing is scary and out of the ordinary.
Pure Paranormal uses recording devices to capture EVPs, or electronic voice phenomena, disembodied voices of those who have passed on. And it's not as exciting as it looks on TV.
It's a lot of waiting, it's a lot of working, especially going over the evidence for the team. That takes a long time.
Maysandra says while she believes in spirits, she's never actually seen one. In addition to being a ghost hunter, she's also a student of the City Auditorium's colorful history.
It's been USO headquarters. It was the place to go during Prohibition, drinking and gambling downstairs in the basement, dancing and dining upstairs, shows. Lots of famous people would love to come here and be a part of the life. This was the nightlife back in its day.
And the caretaker of the City Auditorium back in the day was a man named John Evans. He, too, apparently believed in ghosts.
John Evans used to talk to the spirits here, actually, and he would walk through here in the dark, and he was led by his Indian spiritual guide named Pinecone.
Evans lived in an apartment above the backstage dressing rooms, but he was also familiar with the Prohibition-era tunnels that led to downtown. The story goes, he went out for a night of drinking and returned with an unknown companion. When he didn't report for work the next day, co-workers searched his apartment.
He had been stabbed to death, and he was unrecognizable. It was one of the most brutal murders of its days, back in 1936. And it is said that John is still here, walking the walls and still doing his caretaking job here in the City Auditorium.
And apparently, Evans is not alone. A couple more spirits are believed to reside under the stage in the basement of the auditorium. Gray tells the story of two men who had racked up significant gambling debts.
When they finally didn't pay up, they were taken down here into the boiler room and put over in here and then shoved in there and burned to death.
Gray says there's a brick wall somewhere in the building that's not on the original blueprints. The theory is that's where the charred remains of our delinquent gamblers ended up. So is the Colorado Springs City Auditorium really haunted? I guess it all just depends on what you choose to believe. As for me, I think it's just an old ghost story. John Carroll, KRDO News Channel 13.